Cool. Here we go. All right, we are live. Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow workshop. I am your host Nelson. Thank you for joining me this week. This week, episode 110. We're gonna change it up a bit today. Usually we do rebuilds of pages or popular sites or something like that, or showing you how to use a new feature in Webflow. But we're going to change it up, and we're going to talk to one of the Webflow developers in the team. I want you guys to start meeting the people who work behind the scenes in Webflow, who build some awesome features in Webflow that really help you, the community. And I just want to give them the recognition they deserve. And our guest will be Forrest Oliphant, and I hope I got that last name right, and I'll ask him. But what Forrest has done is one of our latest features. He helped out with the site search. Let me get that on the screen real quick. Yeah, so site search, if you haven't played around with it, it's in the Webflow Designer right now. It is live since last week, and you can just drag in a search bar that will search through your static pages, your dynamic content pages, and whatnot, and you can completely design it just like all the other components that the Webflow team builds. You can completely design it however you want, and to me, that's really powerful because you can, instead of having to go into the code of something like Google custom search, I remember I had to like hack away at the CSS just to override stuff that I didn't like, just to make sure it's on brand. Or taking something like Findberry. I know I've used Findberry in the past before Webflow didn't have any site search, so I had to use Findberry because it's free, but the search results page didn't really look that clean, so I just had to, just do it the way it is. But now, as you can see in this video demo, it's just, super easy because it's in Webflow. So yeah, Forrest helped out a lot with this new feature, and again, I want you guys to meet him. And if you have any questions for Forrest, please post it in the live chat room, and our chat mod / community manager Anais will jot it down, and I will ask them to Forrest. All right, so without further ado, oops, wrong screen. Let me get him on the screen. There we go. Forrest, how are you doing?
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Cool. Thanks so much for being here and giving us some of your time. I know it's super busy being part of the Webflow team. You probably have lots of projects on your plate right now.
Yeah, starting some new stuff.
Nice. A lot of new stuff. So just got a couple of questions for you, and again, I just want you to meet the community and so forth. So first of all, how did you get into the Webflow team?
I'd seen Webflow around and tried it a little bit, but last year I was looking for work and tweeted something out, and our CEO Vlad saw it and sent me a message, and we started talking from there.
You tweeted something out. What did you tweet?
Just looking for work.
Oh, okay. And then I guess he was just looking for someone to fill the role, and like, was it your portfolio he was impressed with? Your background? Like, what was it?
Yeah, well, we talked a little bit before, so I guess he'd seen my portfolio, and so I've been working on before. But yeah, he's super accessible. I'm sure his DMs are open if you want to ask anything, and mine are as well.
Yeah, he's a very accessible person. I mean, he really talks to the community, and he really helps out. So after you got the position at Webflow, what was your first project, or what was your first thoughts of being a Webflow developer when you started to actually get into the nitty gritty of things?
Well, it's a pretty big code base, but all the developers start with a project to make sure the fit is good. So I was working on moving one piece of the modal that when you export a site, moving that to React, and so it's just porting it from an older system that it was written in, and like using our internal component library and putting that together, kind of redoing it there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a nice way to see how things fit together and start to get to know the code base.
Okay, so it's something easy for you to do and like to just to get to know the code base. So is being a Webflow developer different? Like, how is it unique compared to the previous positions you were in before Webflow?
Um, well, the last job I had as well was remote. So I've been doing remote work for a while. So that much is similar. Webflow does a really good job of doing communication and considering remote people because more than half of the team. So we work on that a lot, like communicating um, with with the people that are in the office and all the remote people as well around the world.
Yeah, a lot of companies, I guess, a lot of startups are doing that remote, like being mostly remote, and
Hmm.
it seems to be doing well. I've seen some news articles and stuff how remote is actually better than mostly remote is better than having everyone in just a central office. I know a long time ago I tried to apply to some jobs, and they said this is a remote job, and most of our team is remote, and that really caught me off guard. And so, do you think that that's like that'll be the ongoing trend to get out of the office and just have mostly remote teams?
Um, I think so. I mean, it definitely widens your hiring pool, and as somebody, I live in rural North Carolina,
Hmm.
so there's not that many local jobs for web app developers.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, it definitely widens the possibilities for where I can live.
Yeah. Well, so um, let's go to the site search. So, when did you start the site search project?
I took it over. There were some other people working on it, but I kind of took on the front end part of it in July of last year. So it was
Oh
pretty
wow.
much half a year working on it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So, like, what are some of the challenges that you face when you had to build this new feature for Webflow?
Um, I I guess like when I'm developing, I try to think of the UX and keep that in mind for like all the decisions we make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one thing that kind of made those decisions easier is that we were trying to make it feel like our CMS collection lists feel. So
Mm-hmm.
and I think we did that pretty well from what I've seen in the forum and like what I've seen with
What do you mean
what people
by
are doing.
collection? Oh, you mean like the search results page?
Right. So when you're binding to that data,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, just making that feel the same because behind the scenes they're quite different because the search isn't just like hitting a database. It's querying X, which is a totally different system. So just making them feel like one thing, like the same
Yeah.
concept, basically.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like when I first played around with the site search beta, when I dragged in the search bar, I was like, okay, that felt easy, just like any other input field in the form. I mean, in the form block, you can bring in an input field, and so it felt like the same thing. So I was like, okay, and then immediately there's a little message that says, okay, your search results page has been created, and I'm like, wait, I just dragged in a box, and I already have a search results page. All right, I'll get to that later. So I designed my search box, and then I went to the new utility page, search results, and I was like, this is too easy. I was able to make a search within 5 minutes. And just like you said, making it feel like a collection list was dragged in. Yeah, that really felt super simple. And I don't know if anyone else in the live chat room has experienced this, and I would love to hear your feedback on it. But yeah, is the search results page like, was that the hardest part of the whole project, to make sure that it was as simple as it could be?
Um, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think like that was just a constant thing to like make sure that that all the different aspects of it work the same way, or worked how people expected it to work.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you were expecting it to be more of a pain, so that's a positive thing.
Well, yeah,
But
from the past, trying, like I said in the beginning, like trying to fix the code, the CSS override Google custom site searches code or Findberry's code, just to make sure it looks really good and on brand with the site design.
yeah,
So yeah, it's so easy. I don't know how else to say it. So, and I know that making something easy to use is the hardest thing to build. You know?
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely like you can feel if you're doing something that's kind of, well, I mean, it's a balance too. Like it shouldn't be like too hard to build, or it might be end up like too complicated or something. I don't know. There's we're always finding that balance.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah,
Yeah.
one thing we did, like we had a little bit more styles, like default style set, and then towards the end, uh, we took some of those out actually, because we wanted them we wanted that to all be like designer decisions.
Hmm.
So we just have the basic fields in there that are just like ready for you to design, and you don't have to override things or reset things that we have decision we
Okay.
made before launch.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. So, was there any before you launched, was there anything else you thought you wanted to get into the feature before launch that didn't make it?
Um, yeah, I mean, there are a few things, but I think they're like
Just nice to
they're
haves.
yeah, and they're like on the roadmap for
Oh,
whenever
okay.
we start 1.5 or 2.0
Okay,
version
so
of
there's
Site Search.
so there's more to it. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to say what's
Yeah.
next, 'cause I don't even know what's next. That's news to me. But yeah, I'm glad there's more improvements to this, because I know one of the biggest improvements that people were asking for was custom snippets, because you were pulling the search result snippets from the static pages and the collections, but you
Mhm.
didn't let people change that to certain things. And so you were able to
Yeah.
add that during launch, which is really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. We did
So
get that in.
so now switching over back to being a developer. Now this is one of the things I really really wonder when it comes to developers' mindsets, is even when I started playing around with Webflow, I kept telling people, "Oh my God, this is going to be the tool of the future. You don't really have to code anymore." But yet developers would scoff and be like, "Why are you using a WYSIWYG? No, this is just another WYSIWYG tool. The best way to do it is by going in Sublime or some code editor and doing it by hand. That is the best way to do it." So, why do you think many developers are still hesitant to embrace tools like Webflow to help them write code, now that Webflow streamlines HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript interactions?
Um, well, I think like it's not just developers. Like talking with my friends that are designers as well. I think people just want to stick with what they know. So it's hard to get somebody to try a new thing, invest in a new thing. So like, yeah, we have tons of educational stuff that once you're ready to actually start with Webflow, like we have lots of resources for that. But that can look daunting too. Like, oh, I have to like do hundreds of hours of coursework to actually understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think for people that code as well, there's kind of we've like seen bad code output from other tools, and we just kind of um, don't even want to give a tool like this a chance because we just assume it's also going to have bad code output.
Yeah.
But then like yeah, that export modal is the first thing that I was working on, and I like just noticed kind of immediately because I was working on that piece, like, oh, the output is pretty decent. Okay, well, I could use this. um,
So even you were
so
kind of
yeah, I mean,
hesitant on your first project when working with Webflow, like, okay, what's the code output really like? And then right when you did that, that really convinced you at that point?
yeah, I mean, I had used it. I started using it like before I got hired to just get to know the tool a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, being able to see it in there, I was like, yeah, okay, the code is decent. Project if I needed to.
So,
But I
okay,
also
go ahead.
really like the um, yeah, the stuff, all the things that we're starting to offer. Like, I mean, well, CMS and site search as well. These are like hosted things, so you have to host with us.
Mm-hmm.
But that is like becoming a positive, um, a big selling point. Like even for me, I've been hosting WordPress sites for friends for a long time, like
Mm-hmm.
15, 10 or 15 years, and
Wow.
um, just like maintaining that and making sure they're all up to date and making sure no new WordPress virus is snuck in there, like is just such a pain. I'm like trying to get them all on Webflow as soon as possible now, so I don't have to think about that
Oh, nice.
as a
Yeah, because here you
server.
see an article every week like, oh, you have to upgrade this because there's a new hack or hole that could take
Yeah,
down your site, and it's sad to hear. It's sad to hear, you know, and you just want to not have to deal with that technical stuff. And then
yeah,
there's companies that just focus exactly on uh, WordPress security, and it's like the fact that you have to pay on top of your hosting for that kind of stuff is even more saddening for clients who eh, should not
yeah,
have to worry about their site being up day to day. They should be worried about their business thriving. But
yeah.
yeah, for those hesitant developers, what kind of advice would you give them to say, hey, really take a look at Webflow? Would it be like export the code and just stare at it and see how clean it is?
um, yeah. I mean, like give it a shot. Try to be level to try out the designer so you can try something out, and look at the code export modal, and yeah, just give it a shot.
Okay, all right. And last question before we seems like there's one question from the live stream, from the live chat. And again, if you guys want to ask a question to Forrest, or have a question about the search site search feature that was just released, go ahead and put it in the live chat room. Yeah. So for any developers who are looking for work, what advice do you have for someone who's looking to help build the Webflow product and join our team?
Um, well, we're pretty invested in React, so understanding the React ecosystem is important, like having some foundation in that. Um, yeah, just reach out. I'm Forresto on Twitter, and my DMs are open, and other team members are available.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just if you have any questions.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so we have one question from the live chat. Forgot who it's. Okay, from Tupac's, not Tupac, but Tupac's. When is autocomplete coming out? And I think you've probably had this question asked many times before, but is there autocomplete? Is that something that's in the roadmap, or is it something that being thought of by the team?
Yeah, it's we've definitely thought like that would be a 2.0 kind of thing, and it's not in the roadmap now, but it's definitely like in our minds for like the future.
Yeah, and plus, the search results that come back are really, because it says on the marketing page, it says it's using Elasticsearch. So I mean, the search results are really really good, right?
Yeah, and we made it to be fast as well. So like you do have to go to the search result page to get your results, but we try to make that as fast as possible.
Okay. Yeah. And and the thing that a lot of people don't realize, I'm not sure if they do or not, but like you can connect an e-commerce platform like Shopify, Foxcart, or something like that, and still use the site search with your e-commerce integration. And I thought that is a really big step up, because now Webflow sites are becoming more accessible as storefronts.
Hmm.
Because I mean, the if you have a lot of inventory, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna search, and now you have that ability.
Yeah.
Okay, we got another one from Antoine. He says, What's the biggest difficulty you're facing while your team is growing and projects multiply?" Ooh, good question.
Um, yeah, we've been hiring a lot of people lately, and I don't know if I could say everybody's name right now.
Yeah,
um,
same here.
so I think like that's going to be something we're figuring out. Like I was hired pretty recently, but the team has grown a lot since I started last April.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I think that's something that we're always experimenting with and trying to figure out. I think one thing that's kind of cool about Webflow is that different projects can adjust their how we manage our project.
mm-hmm.
Um, like there's not one system set in stone, so each new project can kind of evolve and decide what's worked in the past and what hasn't worked in the past. So like I think having tools that are flexible for that is important, and just not getting set in stone if something doesn't work.
Got another question, and again, I don't know if you already know what's on the roadmap or not, or you can say, but the question is, what will site search look like in version 2.0? My first guess is exactly the same, just extra things in the settings. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would say autocomplete or instant results.
Ooh.
That would be a pretty sweet thing to have. And that's also like a new challenge. Like, how does that work in the designer? So like
Yeah.
figuring that out. And yeah, like you said, settings, like being able to search only certain CMS collections or something like that. Like setting that up per search input, so you could have different search inputs, searching different parts, different collections, filters, stuff like that.
Huh. Oh yeah, filters would be nice, and excluding certain CMS items would also be nice too. But I guess you can also set CMS items as draft, and they won't be searched. But yeah. Got another question. I think it's from Luke. Hold on. Okay. So, search analytics. Yeah, I think that one is too. That one's like way out there, if anything, because there's not even analytics built into Webflow.
Yeah. I think there's some tips somewhere about how to get the most of Google Analytics. If you use that already, then you should be able to see what people are searching for based on the query.
Yeah, because just the query string in the URL, right?
Yeah.
And then you can just pull that out of Google Analytics.
Yeah. So that's like the way to do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say in the future there might be some in the dashboard, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think let's take one last question. All right, from Blaze. Can you tell us what you're working on these days? So, if you're allowed to, is it still working on site search, or have you already moved on to another project?
Yeah, we had the last few tie up with site search, and next I'm going to be on a new team that we have that's called stabilization, and working on some things there to just with the goal of making everything more stable.
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, and I think that's always a challenge for any product. You want to make sure that you're putting out high quality features at a good pace to make sure that the community is being helped. But at the same time, as things get bigger, you don't want things to just fall and die. You want to make sure that everything is stable, and the performance that everyone knows and loves about Webflow is still this high quality. So yeah, that's a very important team. So glad that we got that going. And thanks again for your time and letting us meet you. Do you have any? Do you want to say anything to the community? Do you want to ask something of the community before we let you go?
No, it's been nice talking. Wow, 30 minutes have flown by. But yeah, I'm available. Talk to me on Twitter if you want.
What was it again? It's on Twitter. It's FORRESTO,
Forresto.
Forresto. Okay. Yeah, so hit Forrest up on Twitter at FORRESTO. And yeah, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time when another feature comes out.
All right, cool.
All right.
See you, Nelson.
See ya. Cool. Well, that was fun. Yeah, so again, I want you guys to meet the people who actually build Webflow and make some of the awesome stuff that you love. And we'll be doing more of that. I'm going to try to get more people in. And I think last year I did a whole group interview where I went to headquarters and talked to a lot of the people, and a lot of people are there to watch. So maybe we'll do that too. So next we're going to do some site reviews and then some live Q&A, and we'll end it for the week, okay? So, let's see here. Let me get my links. Okay, so instead of asking for webflow.io links in the live chat, what we're doing is having you send in your site to be reviewed live on a Google form, and Anais in the live chat room will give you that link, and I'll also post it in the YouTube description. But yeah, let's go to our first one. Oh, I gotta go to the form first. Should have had that up already. But here, let me show you this. Here we go. Here we go. Awesome. Okay. Right. So this site is called Daily One Testing, or Daily One, and it's, let me find out who posted it. Sorry guys, should have been more prepared on this one. 3, 4. Okay, so Tom created this, and the main goal of the site is to provide inspirational links and music for designers. What he wants to get feedback on is how good the information is structured and how easy it is to use. All right, so when looking at this, it seemed like a simple blog or like a Tumblr or something quick, right? But it wasn't really apparent. It's not really apparent that it's an inspirational type site, you know? And the reason why I say that is because there's no intro copy. There's no, there's nothing telling me that this is something to get inspiration from. So if you can have some sort of intro copy or some sort of hero row before getting to this part, then yeah, it would really help. Because right now I'm just thinking, okay, it's a bunch of links. Did you create this? Is this like your portfolio? What's going on? I'm not sure where I'm at. But yeah, it's structured nicely. It's very clean, a lot of white space. The background though, it gets lost. I'm not sure why there's a background image when like what 95% of it is covered by this background pattern. So either remove it or continue the background pattern all the way to the edges. Let's see here, scrolling down. So again, if someone were to come to this site and didn't know what all this was, then they would probably bounce because there's no intro copy to explain. Okay, this part right here, really cool. How the record comes out. And I'm guessing, yep, that's a scroll interaction right there. And so if I click play, it goes to it. So that's cool. And maybe, no, just a nice to have, what if you click on it and then it starts playing somehow on the bottom? Kind of like how SoundCloud does it, where it has the bottom player. You would need to do some custom code for this, but yeah. So yeah, those two things. Intro copy and some way to have some sort of intro copy to each thing explaining why did you change or why did you select this? Out of all the websites in the world, why did you select this one for this day? Why did you select this one for this day? Right? And I think you get into it right here. Okay, so yeah. You get into it right here, and it's not explained on the homepage. And so I'm guessing you're going for that minimalism, but I think you need to give people some copy to explain. I think I would bring the copy here on the sides. It would really explain it more. Okay? All right. Cool. Let me go to my next one. All right, so this is from Kai, and Kai, if you're here, you submitted 3 links, and I should have said this a while ago, but I'm gonna make it a rule: 1 link per week. Okay, I can't just review all of your sites before everyone else's. Just one at a time. Okay. So Kai, this is Kai's site, and his goal of the site is to demo his 3D modeling and have people go to the contact form. So his main conversion is people contacting him for work. He wants us to focus on his 3D modeling and availability for this type of work. for the Webflow community. All right, Kai. So first thing I thought when I saw this site was, whoa, this is different. But I'm not sure what I'm here for. Again, I'm coming in here with no thoughts, no expectations. I'm just stumbled upon it via Google search or something like that for no reason, right? And so I get here and I'm like, why am I here? And this is why websites are still a storytelling tool. Okay, you want to explain to people in as few words as possible why they're here. So I think my own personal rule is you have 3 seconds to tell the user where am I at, why am I here, and how do I get more information, all within 3 seconds. So first thing I do is where am I at. So I'm at Kai Jolly, and if I didn't know Kai was a person or it was a brand, is this someplace that's it's a agency, is a studio, or do they sell actual products? Do they do 3D printing? I don't know. But because I know Kai's a person, I'm just gonna now assume, okay, this is a person's website. Now, why am I here? I'm not sure. Am I here for web design elements? I'm here for web design. Okay, so I'm guessing this is a web designer. And then where do I go for more information? Now, I know you're trying for something different. And you would have to A/B test this because maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not sure how many people would click on the side arrows because, and again, icons on websites are road signs. Okay, and so road signs also, if you're driving down the road, not only do you have an icon on the road sign, but you also have some text, as short amount of text as possible to explain to the driver what's going to happen. For example, if you're on a right lane of the street, and it's and you see a right arrow turning right, the little copy at the bottom says right turn only or something like that. So right here, if I'm hovering over this and it has no copy, I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to go to another page? Am I going to see about you? Am I what's going to happen if I click down? What's going to happen when I click left? So you don't want to keep the user guessing. You want to explain it. Maybe put some copy under each thing. But yeah, so intro copy and some sort of copy to help with these icons. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. What's going to happen? Now I know left and right is a slider, but I had to make a click. Okay, and you don't want your users to think what's going to happen, and so they're kind of nervously going to click on this and okay, it's a slider. I get it now. If I go like this, okay, now I get it. It's a slider. Okay. When I saw your 3D art, I was like, dude, this is really awesome. I think it's really, really cute how you incorporated the Webflow logo and made some space 3D objects, and it's really cool. You do have a talent for 3D. That's really awesome. And you're trying to incorporate it with actual elements of web design. So after I was going through the slider, I get it. Really cool. But this add to cart, now it feels like an e-commerce site. And I'm like, okay, so add to cart, does this mean it's $10? What is W? Is W a certain type of currency or something? It kind of confuses me. And I know you're trying to go for something different. And so there's a line, there's a small line between trying to be different or a small area between trying to be different and producing a good UX. So I think you need to find that. I know what you're trying to go for, but I think it's really cool that you added these interactions. So yeah, so I'm not sure what the numbers mean at all. And so if I click on checkout, that's cool. And then it goes to this. And I'm a big fan of motion graphics, okay? And so all that kind of a page load type of thing, that's really cool, all right? But the cart, the loadout, really doesn't make sense because you're making the user think this is an e-commerce site, okay? But this is really cool, all right? And it's not till later when I was looking at the site that I realized, oh, that's so cool. This is a menu button, hamburger menu, and it's really cool. But again, you need copy. You need some sort of text to explain people what is that? What is that? That's an image. So if I click here, am I going to see images of you? But if I click on it, it actually goes to this website, which I'm confused about. Like, okay, why did everything just change? I'm confused. I'm going to leave. And then this goes nowhere. That goes to mail. Yeah. All right. I know I've been a little bit... Whoa, okay, so that goes to there. See, I'm, again, confused. So I know I may be overly critical, but the only reason why is because I want you to succeed, and I want this to be a thing. So try... Main thing is copy. You need to figure out copy, because that's what websites are. Websites are meant for reading first, and then seeing all the visuals. Okay? Yeah. So let's go to the next one. But yeah, your 3D, dude, it's on point. All right, here we go. Scott. Oh, this is a good one. All right, so what is this? Housley for Senate. Okay, so here we go. It's a political site. The main goal of the site is to capture donations and contributions for a campaign. All right, so this one's really cool. What I really like is that usually when I see political sites, it's not really designed well, and it's just very boxy, and it's it doesn't look modern. It's just like very straightforward and to the point, like vote for me type of thing. Okay, and already what I like is not using straight lines to show each section. And I think I've touched on this in previous streams, but right here, using curved lines, actually 3 curved shapes to make this happen. So that's really cool. Okay. The drop shadow is nice, and then hovers are nice. And this right here, really nice, because it's like a book. It's like a watermark. Like, this is the person you're reading about. All right. And so it reads like a story. You have whose website is this? Why am I here? Where do I go to find more information? So this is Housley's website. Why am I here? She's a new voice from Minnesota, and she wants to be a senator. And where do I go to find more information? Okay, so right here. All 3 of those, very, very clear on the page. So if I click on this, it goes down to contribute. So immediately, all right? But if I don't want to contribute, but I want to read more on this person or watch a video, I can. So there's a video right there. Read more, so that's cool. That's a nice UX thing. So let me refresh this. So, cool loader right there. So right here, Scott noticed that the amount of text was going further than the photo, and so to fix this, he added a read more interaction. And I think that's really cool, because the initial look of the page is very clean, and even if they added more copy, you wouldn't see it until you click read more, and now the grid is kind of off. It's kind of tilted on one side, but it's okay, because the initial look is great. So good job on that, Scott. And again, the shapes, nice. And these right here, Light boxes. Yep, that's cool. Wait a minute, that's not a... Oh, this is an embed because this is not Webflow. Cool. Good job. Nice. Okay, we got a straight line here, but that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Nice. This is nice. I think this is... Scott, if you can tell us, if you're in the live chat room right now, if you can tell us what you did to make this. Seems like an embed from another tool, but this is nice. All right, great job. Yeah, this is a really clean form right here. Nice, great job. All right. Okay, great question, Spencer, for how do you do a curved section in Webflow? What I do personally is I take an SVG of the curve. Like I make a SVG in like Illustrator or Sketch or something like that, export it out and upload it into Webflow. And this from this edge to this edge. So if you can imagine a rectangle, that rectangle has the SVG as a background image that's sized to cover, and then that's it. So you have like white area here in the image, and then you have the darker color here for this image, and then the background color for this section is the same as this one right here. So it's a tricky thing. Yeah, see, you just use the same image right here. And then this one, I'm guessing this whole background image right here is one thing, and these curves are part of the background image. As you can see here, yeah, the quality of these pixels, I don't know if you guys can see, are not as good as the ones. Okay, maybe they're the same thing, and it's just flipped. Yeah, but he did something, and it's really easy to do. All right. I think that's about it for site reviews. If you have any other questions right now, this is the time to ask it in the live chat room. Any questions about web design, Webflow, your life? No, I can't answer that one. But yeah, while I'm waiting for the questions, thank you guys so much for joining me this week. We're trying to switch it up with the topics. If you have any topic ideas, post it on forum.webflow.com and we'll consider it and we'll let you know if we take your idea. Yeah. Okay, if there's no questions, then we can end the stream. Let me look at my questions list. Yeah, nothing new on the questions list. Susan, can we talk more about setting up not an embed uses fit? Not sure what that means. Okay. All right. Again, if you want your site to be featured in an upcoming Webflow stream, please go to the Google form that Anais is linking in the live chat and also put it in the YouTube description and we'll get to it. We want to see what you're working on. All right. All right. How do you get this shirt? Yeah, we want to give away some shirts. I'm going to work with Anais to figure out how to do more contests during these streams and also on our forums to give you guys some swag. Because, you guys should walk around with this kind of stuff. It's cool. All right. As far as Friday streams, yes, we're still putting Friday streams on hold and trying to incorporate those into this Tuesday stream. And yeah. All right. If there's no other questions, let's go ahead and close out for the week. All right. So, if you have any account billing or technical issues, please go to university.webflow.com/contact and our support team will help you out as fast as possible. Join our community at forum.webflow.com. If you have any design or custom code issues, please post them there. Our wonderful global community will help you out. And as always, if your question gets answered on the forum, do us a favor and pass that favor forward, all right? And answer someone else's question so we can all grow together. This stream happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. We stream on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/webflow. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We also post this video on our Facebook account, which is facebook.com/webflow. Want to follow us on Twitter? It's at webflowapp. You can follow me at the Pixel Geek. On Instagram at webflowapp as well. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys so much. I will see you next week. And as always, please make the web beautiful. See ya.